Hello everybody, welcome back to Financial Trading Basics Part 34, Market Minutes 3. As you can see, I've got my bulletproof vest all loaded up, got my hard hat. It's wartime, baby, so we gotta trade the war. Yep, we can't publish a science paper, but we're gonna have a war. That's good stuff. So today, mainly trading, geopolitical current events, and then trades that I would do on them. I'll just assess the different trades that I think will come out of, assess the strength of the trades that will come out of the conflict, which is legitimately a war, which is pretty good. So what's currently been going on, just a little overview. We have talks between, again, I don't know when the first invasion was, probably a week ago, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, don't really know. We know if we have talks between the delegation at the Belarus border. We have personal sanctions on the high-ranking individuals of the Kremlin, including Fag Vlad. Don't Novichok me, Vlad. Don't have Sergei Gukho from Caltech Novichok me. Or Anton. Is that like the only names in Russia? Is Vladimir, Sergei, and Anton? That honestly might be the only names. But anybody say, Brad, your name's pretty fucking common. Yeah, at least it's not Mark or Matthew or John or Bill. So I'm pretty high up there on the common name list, but not nearly as common as Vladimir. Jesus, switch it up a bit, guys. But then we have some sanctions on the central bank, which I'm just thinking out loud to myself. I'm not exactly sure, like, global banking structure. So I'm not exactly sure what they mean. They just can't, like, transact. Like, no NATO bank will transact with the Central Bank of Russia. That's probably what it means. We have, again, they're now kicked off of the SWIFT system, which I'm really not even sure what that is in terms of like how it functions or what relevance it has in a meaningful way. They have not put sanctions on energy or on exports to Russia. So I think this is really, really good stuff. And also the Russian defense deterrent system has been on high alert for nukes. Nukes. Dear alien overlords, if there is one more nuclear weapon fired on this planet, blow us all up. And if you live here on this planet, just destroy us. Wipe us all out, me first. Please, actually. So no, we should not be using nukes because we're butthurt world leaders. The history is not coming back. Soviet Union is not coming back. It's not. So, fuck, yeah, just go for nukes, blow everybody up, who fucking cares? But I really like this dynamic, because it's like, we will literally slaughter each other. Both countries won't publish a science paper that they're both personally aware of, because, again, why would we ever want to change the sentiment of the species and actually improve our economy and stop wars and grow up when we can just kill people and stagnate everything? We would never want to do that. So, I always like to see the line of like where the sanctions land, because again, right, they don't want to over-sanction and then fuck up the U.S. economy, the United Kingdom's economy, Germany's economy, whoever's involved. So it's always really interesting to see the personal line of, we'll still kill each other, but we can't fuck up our economy too bad because dollars. I also want to read through just like some thoughts on Reddit reactions, because again, this is really my assessment of sentiment. And what I'm saying in front page of Reddit is mostly Russian stuff about the invasions, where you have the Zelensky, who's also named Volodymyr, but they're fighting in I'm not sure if Kiev, or I'm not even sure if it's Kiev or Kyiv, but I think that's the capital. They're fighting in there. But I just saw again, hailing Zelensky as a king, as a super leader for defending himself, which again, I don't even say you should or shouldn't do. It just really just depends on what's going on. I'm certainly a fighter, not a runner. So, but my point is from the sentiment, and we have Russian invaders shooting civilians. Father was shot in front of his son's eyes. All that's good stuff. So we've got some people leaving, but again, just like when Zelensky has to like say, we need people to enlist into the army. And then here we have a phone of a killed Russian soldier who's basically saying, I didn't translate it myself, but basically saying, Mom, this isn't a practice or a joke anymore. Where are you? Can you send you a package? I just want to hang myself maybe. Again, this is off Google Translate, this is why I don't use Google Translate, and my Cyrillic is not good enough. Basically, just a completely oblivious soldier in the Russian army about what war is. You are going to a place to kill people. That is what you are going to do, or you're going to die, and probably both. But this is what I'm talking about, an underdeveloped sentiment. I don't understand how you have a single soldier in any fucking army that isn't an absolute fucking savage and absolutely ready to fucking die. I don't understand it. But he's talking, like, this Russian soldier saying, you know, he's calling us fascists. It's really tough. Like, yeah, war. It's fucking war. So to see the backdrop again of the soldiers not even knowing what the fuck war is in any meaningful way, you have world leaders playing with other people's lives for real, which has always been fucking true. But it's atrocious. This is individuals. If you educate yourself, this is not possible. Uneducated soldiers, it's always a bad thing. But they would, again, you'd be either be, and then on a civilian level, you'd be able to be more defiant, right? They don't want to over enact sanctions. But if everybody in the fucking planet, again, the maturity went from 7% to just not 30%, 40%, 50%, everyone would be fighters. There would be a lot more deterrence. There would be a lot more deterrence from home. Like, there's protests in Moscow and stuff, but it's like, it wouldn't get to that fucking point because everyone's connected, right? The Russian oligarchs all have family members and friends and shit that are connected to everything. So the faster we can change sentiment, the less likely this is able to occur. From a variety of aspects. So now, how would I trade what's going on? So now we have trades on oil. Again, I think, like I said, I've not taken. I think it's an extremely fertile ground to have. Again, I don't know the exports, imports of countries in any meaningful way. Not like down to the dollar, but just what do most countries import? What do most countries export? Clearly, Russia's got oil and natural gas, or at least oil. I'm not even personally aware of the refining process. I'm not even exactly sure how you place a trade on oil. Like when I go on my terminal and think and swim, I know how to do spot pairs, I know how to do the equities, I know how to do options. Not exactly sure, like I try to type in oil or just like Brent, or like I didn't know what the ticker was. But overall on that, what do I think? What do I think about the duration of the war? No real fucking clue. I tried my best at diplomacy. Clearly no one gives a fuck about anything I say, which that's a big mistake. But I don't think it will be long. I don't think so. I hope not. I really fucking hope not. I don't think so, but I don't have a good time frame on it. So oil, again, how long will prices of oil be elevated, at least from Russia? I see it as a medium-term thing, along with the defense, like they talk about Lockheed Martin. And it can go a lot of different ways, because again, like I said, I don't know the oil supplies of Russia, what percentage of it is the global output, what percentage of energy consumption is oil, what other countries could compensate that, when is there going to be a new reserve found somewhere, I don't know if that's still like a possible thing. So there's just a lot of things on energy, just fundamental basic questions that I do not know to put a trade on. So I would not long oil here if your thesis is that the war is going to go for a while, but again, oil could go up for a lot of different reasons outside of this conflict. Defense spending, military, and maybe a short-term trade, but again, don't expect it to go on long, but the overall, again, a lot of different conflicts, a lot of different things. I don't know what the military spends stuff on. I don't know what commodities they use, aluminum, steel, this, that, blah, blah, blah. So I would not be a person on buying the defensive names simply for this conflict without outside fundamentals or outside stimulus as well. The thing I would do is I actually tried to buy some rubles today. Privyet. I tried to buy some freaking rubles. Called up TD Ameritrade. There was no ruble USD spot pair on the Forex trader. Called them up. They did not have enough liquidity of the ruble to trade it. So breaking down that trade, what would I do there? I would just long it. Again, like I said, I've not taken a currency trade at all, but I would throw $300 at it just to manage it over the time frame. Just to see how it develops over time frame. Because, like I said, the overall development of the currency market is just so nascent. I hear that a lot. Everyone's stealing from my lecture on that. But like just looking at the maximum chart on Google Charts for the ruble versus the US dollar. Again, when you're looking at spot pairs, the first currency is, right, you'll have some exchange rate which you can buy or sell. The first currency listed is the base currency, meaning if you have a US dollar to pound and it's 1.3 it would be yeah, that would be right, approximately in real time, because it would take 1.3 US dollars to buy one European dollar or whatever the currency is. So that's what you're looking at there. But what was I saying before that? Oh, it's at so from 2008 at its peak in the recent history, it was at 4 cents. Well, one US dollar, or 4 cents. Would be 400. I don't know, but it would cost you I can't even do this off the top of my fucking head, but it's down to below 1 cent United States dollar. So, like, where do I think the currency development of the ruble is overall? I think any socialist country or previous socialist country in the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years still have a long way to go in terms of getting property rights. So I think overall any country that is going from a socialist or authoritarian or totalitarian or oligarch type of scheme to more will have more potential for buying power against every other currency in the market, kind of as my background thesis. And now overall potential, again, worth 4 cents, one ruble gets you 4 United States cents, and now it's down below 1 cent. I don't, like I said, because of the backdrop of again over the long time frame, when does that happen? That could be a long time, 10, 15, 25, 30 years, and nobody's really super excited about holding a trade that long. But against these other trades like defense or oil, like the ruble's not going to go away. Like Russia's not going to go away. Like we've had like world wars and countries don't go away. Certain countries get dissolved or get realigned, but no amount of physical conflict outside of literally total destruction of the entire planet, which I hope the aliens do if we nuke each other one more fucking time. Please, that is my direct order if anyone cares. It is so ordered. But I think the overall, for the best trade, I think would be to long the ruble. And again, because forget the conflict, again, opening up your economy is going to strengthen your buying power for sure. Which one goes first, how fast they go, not sure. But I would say the overall potential on this is at least a 4x, like I didn't even mean to do that, but a 4 multiple. But again, I don't know what's been causing the depreciation since 2008. So it's not at, like, people says it's below 1 cent today. 1 ruble's worth 1 cent today, but even 4 cents in 2008. That's not like a multiple of 4. You can get that on any options trade that you look at. So it's not the profit potential is not humongous, but I do see it as inevitable. Could it go to 0? Sure. Could it turn into Venezuela? Sure. But overall, I think Russia is a big enough country, a big enough player in they have a small economy, but big enough player in terms of population, nuclear establishment, that it would be the smartest trade here would to be long the ruble. And so I wanted to throw a couple $100 at it just to follow it, just to see how it did. Take a currency trade, but I really think there's got to be some, and you can do this with other things. It doesn't have to be against the United States dollar, right? You can do it with any other spot pair. So I just think there's so much fertility. It's a fertile land for trades in currency and commodity cross things, even more so than playing a related equity. So that's what I would do. Tesla is now below 800. I would have, like I said, I called the short around 11. I think it was 1120. Would not have hit the 1200. Don't have a downside big enough to trade it. But that was just a story where again the sentiment was overblown substantially in comparison with or in lockstep. Everyone likes that one now too. With the what the fuck was I just saying? Oh, the sentiment was in proportion with the valuations. So I would have covered that. Could it go lower? Sure. I saw some price targets of 400 or 500, but I would have covered it under the 800. Again, just as a short-term trade, 3 months, and panned out pretty freaking well. Inflation reopening. We'll get some rate numbers from the Fed in March. I think that will have overall for the U.S. market. I think that will have more impact. Like I said, I don't have any real good duration on the war. I'm hoping a couple weeks maybe. And I just don't know what the fuck is anyone fucking doing. You can publish a science paper and help a lot of people today, and people just won't. So I can't give you any timing on that. Again, I think the reopening will be strong. Now that we got a war, low key, the mask guidance has come down. The cases have absolutely plummeted. So the reopening's still on for me. Still long. I've not increased or decreased my Carnival Cruise Line. And so I have about 10,000 on MNMD. That's my long-term investment for whenever. I would have longed the ruble. Anything else to say for today? Oh, I just saw a guy named Alan Boomer on CNBC. That has got to be Michael B. Jordan's cousin or uncle or something. He looked a lot like Michael B. Jordan. So Alan Boomer, multiple intergalactic scientific studies have confirmed he is related to Michael B. Jordan. So that's what again, like I said, I can't even trade the ruble. I'd like to. But those are my thoughts. That's how I would trade it. I would not take an oil trade or defense trade or natural gas trade simply on this conflict. I would go long the ruble simply on this conflict. I would have covered my Tesla under 800. And I would be long and aggressive for reopening plays, specifically in leisure travel. So that's what I would do. Thank you for watching Financial Trading Basics Part 34, Market Minutes 3. Make sure you have your hard hats and your bulletproof vest when you're going to trade.